My name is Mario Arguello. I'm located in Falmouth, Massachusetts. That's like 2 hours south of Boston. And with Kinetech, I'm one of the engineering managers at the company. And the biggest strength of Mendix and what makes it really powerful is that you can pretty much do anything. And that's really great. And it could also really be bad, right? But the fact that you can do anything, if you have the experience in programming and understanding the fundamentals, it becomes a really big strength. And so being able to prototype something in Mendix, bring it to production, adapt to its changes, or adapt to any business changes in the market, like all of that in a pretty quick time frame is powerful for any organization or individual. So I would say I would point to that as the platform's biggest strength. One of the most challenging problems that I've solved with Mendix, or just gave a solution to, we integrated with a custom ERP system that a client was using, and they wanted their user permissions, so essentially their security permissions within a Mendix app, to be based on the user role setup that they have in this custom system. So that entails that brings a whole bunch of complexity into a Mendix app that isn't really normal or standard among most Mendix apps. We were able to accomplish it with collaboration among developers, essentially. The Mendix project that I am most proud of is probably back to that challenging piece. I mean, the complexity in making a solution's access and security based on a completely different systems, it's hard to do. It's hard to make it simple. It's hard to make it easy to understand. But I'm most proud of it because we were able to do that, and we could pretty much integrate or bring in someone else and have them quickly understand what's going on under the hood faster than if it was some really, really complex thing to understand. The execution that we did is what I'm most proud of, right? Yeah, so I'm currently in our manufacturing vertical. Right now I'm working with a metal manufacturer in the US, and we're building a multi-app ecosystem that just combines all of their equipment assets and their IoT devices, and we're combining that with near real-time analytics. So the whole goal of it is really to just provide key performance indicators for management based on the productivity of those assets. I'd say that my aha moment with the platform was sitting through a training. I can't remember which training it was, but the phrase "in context" was thrown out there, and that I think that really hit, and clicked with me, because everything in programming happens within a specific context, and to put it into perspective with Mendix, I mean, you have so many different components in the platform. You build your pages, you have your microflows or nanoflows in the background that sit behind buttons or click activities. Beneath all of that is your domain model, the things that you're working with. And when the person said "in context," it really clicked to me, where you're working or doing something very specific on a page. That thing that you're using on the page informs or changes in the background based on whatever activity you're clicking on a button, or you have a job or something waiting to execute, and all of that is stored sort of in your database that you've built in Mendix or are tapping into. but it all happens in context. So I think sitting through that training or whatever it was, if it was like someone just, mentioning it in conversation, just really snapped and clicked for me to kind of think about things that are in context as I'm developing these things in Mendix. Yeah, I mean, I guess I never really looked at it as a superpower, but probably just understanding and implementing REST services. You could do some pretty neat things kind of out of the box, but when it comes to something very niche or specific, it's still kind of the same basis, and you can do it pretty quickly within Mendix. So I point to that as my my superpower in low code in Mendix. So the advice I'd give to aspiring developers who want to join the tech world, I think, is just network. Network with as many people as you can who are in similar roles that you want to get into, or even not. I mean, similar verticals of the tech world sort of overlap with each other sometimes, and you can learn so many different things that you might not have thought were applicable to the route that you want to go, or just kind of change the way that you think about certain directions that you want to go, and you just don't know what or where a conversation could lead you to based on who you network with. And I say that because I'm in the position that I'm in now because of who I networked with very, very early on, and way back. I wouldn't have learned everything that I learned had I not had a simple conversation to start. And even as you're progressing in your careers, just expanding your network and who you know is important. Yeah, this is an interesting one. If I wasn't a developer, what career path would I choose? I'd probably be a DJ on a cruise ship. So that's, I think, just having, no life ties anywhere, or just, all the time in the world to do whatever I want. I would choose that. I think just travel wherever the cruise ship is going and play music for people, make people feel good.